Hello, my name is Cal Burgess and thank you for joining me today on this tutorial. What I'm going to show in this video is how you can implement the minimal essential coverage for Obamacare and still protect all of your own interests moving forward. We can custom tailor these policies to work in conjunction of what you and your family may need. What I've done is I've come up with a pricing example to show you exactly how this all comes together. So the example I chose was a single male age 40 non-smoker. As you can see here, I'm gonna go ahead and continue to see to show you what the pricing would be on that individual. We're going to show this this example of making $40,000 adjusted gross income, or expecting to make $40,000 in 2016. Now, since he makes $40,000, he will not qualify for any premium tax credit or any subsidization from the government. Typically, the way that works, the less money you make, the more subsidization you'll receive from the government, up to a certain threshold. So, but that's okay. We're just using this for a generic example or a hypothetical example to show you how all this comes together and how we can custom tailor these plans to meet your needs. Now, let's see. Let's look at a couple of different plans with the Obamacare. In this case, we'll use the medium plan, which will give you 4 different visits, 1 lab or diagnostic test, 6 prescription drugs, and $100 in medical expenses. Now, all this information is correct. Once again, a male non-smoker, age 40, single, just getting just a general idea what the pricing would be. So when we get the pricing, there's 64 different plans available. Now, our back office can help you with all these plans. We can put this into effect. I'm just doing this for illustration purposes to show you what you can expect with a bronze plan Obamacare. In this case, you're going to be paying $207 a month, which is pretty attractive. What's not attractive is the $6,450 deductible. Now, a lot of people don't have $6,450 laying on the floor to be able to pay towards a deductible. In this case, the max out of pocket is $6,500, meaning once you've satisfied or paid $6,500 in 2016, the Obamacare is going to pay everything else. Now, there are co-payments with this plan. It looks like $25 primary doctor, specialist doctor of $50, emergency care for $350, and that's even after the deductible, as well as generic drugs. Now, we're going to talk further about how someone with Obamacare would satisfy that deductible and what you have to do to be able to meet that. And then we're going to show you how we can structure that where you won't have a deductible. And if you do, it's going to be a very small deductible. And in many cases, we'll show you how to get paid basically to get sick. So let's take a look at what options there are. So now that we talked about the pricing of the bronze plan, let's go ahead and look at the strategies that can be individually tailored to meet your expectations moving forward, to minimize or eliminate your deductible and save yourself money moving forward. So there are some concerns and costs associated with Obamacare that I want to discuss with you really quick. Number one, there's limited networks. A lot of those plans for Obamacare got dissolved from a PPO to an HMO. In fact, Blue Cross Blue Shield eliminated most of their PPO plans for all individuals and bumped them all down to an HMO plan because they lost over $300 million in the state of Texas alone. Now, there's significant annual price increases annually, and there's also subjective subsidization. No one really knows who gets what and how it qualifies. The government has their own little formula about how they figure out how much they're going to pay towards your premiums. The example we gave of $40,000 for a single male did not receive any subsidization. There's been significant price increases from 2014 to 2015, and they're expecting those to go from 2015 to 2016. So it's not going to be an easy transition year to year, so you always want to have different strategies to handle that. Now, there is a fee for not having an Affordable Health Care Act policy. If you don't get an Obamacare policy, which is the bronze, silver, gold, or platinum, you will, well, with a couple of exceptions, you'll have a penalty, which is, I believe, 2016 is 2.5% of the adjusted gross income. Now, you're going to want to check with your accountant on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And of course, there's a huge deductible. The example we just showed had a $6,450 deductible, and that's usually going to require an HSA account. Now, unconsidered costs with the bronze policy. Once again, it can have a deductible that exceeds $6,000. The one we showed, the example, was $6,450. Now, most Americans, in order to be able to handle that, don't have the $6,000 or the $6,450 laying around. They're going to need to set up an HSA account, which is a health savings account. And in this case, they're going to need to put over $500 per month. Now, the bronze plan that we looked at the example earlier was $217 a month in premium. That's going to bring the total of $217 plus $500 brings it to over $700 a month that you're having to prepare for if you just use the bronze plan and decide to go at it with your health insurance needs with no other method. What we're going to show you is how to get that cost way down, where you won't need to put $500 a month into an HSA account. You may not even need to set up an account because your deductible, we can structure where your deductible is covered. So, supplemental insurance solutions to save you money. There's several combinations that we can use, literally dozens of combinations that we can meet or structure to hit your to meet your your individual circumstances. We have everything from catastrophic to outpatient to accidental and everything in between. Benefits can be paid in conjunction with Obamacare insurance, or they can be paid to you. In fact, we have a lot of examples that we can show where people have structured this insurance with their Obamacare, and if they got in a car wreck and were in the hospital for a few days, had a couple of surgeries, that they would receive a lump sum after all bills were paid and the deductibles were met. Okay, and all this for cheaper than if they would have got an HSA account and paid the bills without getting a lump sum paid to them. Now, we don't have any restrictions on any medical networks we deal with. It doesn't matter what doctor you use, as long as they're a licensed physician, we can use them, as well as any surgeon, any anesthesiologist, etc. Once again, a lot of times if people are sick, if it's structured correctly, you can get money back in your pocket as a lump sum that can kind of act like a disability policy, but once again, a lump sum as opposed to monthly payments. Now, Premier Medical Gap Protection Benefits. This is just a few of the benefits that we have to subsidize, to walk hand in hand with your Obamacare policy to eliminate that deductible, where you won't have to set up the HSA account. And if you do, you're going to be putting pennies on the dollar in there as opposed to $500 per month. For example, we'll pay $1,000 per day for hospital confinement up to 5 days. Okay, another one is we'll pay $1,000 of surgery for a max of 3 different surgeries the day of surgery, and prescription drugs for up to $500 per year. These are just a couple of examples of what we can do to protect your interests moving forward. Both of those examples would serve as a deductible for your Obamacare policy and would allow you to put money back in your pocket if you were confined in the hospital for 5 days. We have many other services, including emergency room, air ambulance, ground ambulance, chemotherapy services, and outpatient lab and tests, just to name a few. So we have several different policies that are accidental to outpatient to catastrophic to protect your interests moving forward. Now, another example of a policy that we can help you with is home health care benefits. In the event that you got sick or you had an injury from an accident that requires rehabilitation, we can set this up to be done within your own residence. This allows you to set your own schedule without the burden of coordinating times and trips for rehab back and forth, being a burden, because a lot of times when you're in rehabilitation, you have to depending on somebody else to take you there. That takes all that off the table and puts you in control. Now, for our home health care benefits, we can pay up to $300 a day for a nurse to come take care of you, ranging from speech pathology all the way to chemotherapy, or up to $9,000 per month for 365 days. Now, this allows you to recoup quicker, to do it on your time, and we can set this in conjunction with your Obamacare policy that a lot of times will end up allowing you to get cash back, which once again sets the odds in your favor of a quick recovery with all the without the inconvenience of what Obamacare has in their HMO networks. Now, a lot of people will use this home healthcare benefit as an alternative to long-term care. So you can use this for rehabilitation or even for a substitute to long-term care to be able to rehab and have a nurse come by and take care of you, whatever needs you may have moving forward. Now, there's many different combinations to protect your interests. You can have all these benefits that we just discussed, I just showed you, for well under what you would pay with an HSA account to protect your own interests. Many of our programs are available, and they can pay up to potentially 6 figures above and beyond your Affordable Health Care Act that can be redirected back to you. Now, granted, that's the extreme scenario, but the point is you can have all your deductibles met, even have set it up where you can have a cash back in your hand if something were to happen, to be able to protect your interests moving forward. A lot of times when people get sick or have an accident, they don't consider how the loss of income. They may be out of work for several months, and how are they going to pay bills and make ends meet? Well, this is one of the ways to make that happen. Now, protecting your interests within an accident, outpatient, or catastrophic events, once again, you'll be able to receive cash lump sums in addition to all medical bills paid while covering your deductible, and many times for far less than what you'd be paying with an HSA account in a bronze plan. So we can show you how to put all that together to work in your best interest. Now, this is a perfect fit for self-employed personnel, executives, and those enabled to pay high deductibles. They work in perfect conjunction, and it's a very, very smooth process how it all comes together. So please contact me ASAP for more info within your open enrollment window before you miss your opportunity. You can email me at calb@safemoneyaustin.com or call me at 512-994-5272. I look forward to hearing from you, and thank you so much for your time and looking at this tutorial, and hopefully we'll be speaking soon.